Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Sport for Business Daily. Now, coming up over the next 48 hours on Thursday evening, there's going to be a showing of a very special documentary. It's called New Gaels, and we are delighted this morning to be joined by not only the producer, but also one of the stars of the show. So a very warm welcome to Eavan Mulligan and to Zak Moradi. You're very welcome to Sport for Business.
Thanks for having us, Rob. Appreciate it.
Thanks
Tell
for having
me,
us.
Eavan, I've seen the rushes of the program. It's a great piece of documentary filmmaking about an area that is uncommon, I guess, within the GAA. And it is, as the title suggests, about the New Gaels. It's highlighting the story of four individuals who have come to the Games here from a less than beaten path. What was it that inspired the idea that this would make into a really good piece of TV in the first place?
I suppose, Rob, myself and the director and my co-producer, John Taylor Black, had been kind of thrashing a few ideas, sports documentaries around for kind of the last 18 months or so, and the GAA being something that we looked at. And then RTÉ put out a call for a specific GAA documentary last July, I think it was at this point. And we knew that we wanted to do something meaningful and on a subject, within the GAA that mattered, and that there was a social and human element to it. And this idea stuck because both of us were so passionate about it, I suppose. And from a personal point of view, I coached and promoted Gaelic Games, both in the UK for 10 years and Canada, and it was always something that I always took very much pride in, where there was non-Irish, kids from non-Irish backgrounds playing the games and going out and to see kids play, maybe with, not the kind of people that we would normally see back home. That was the early 2000s, playing the game. And it was actually, quite emotional and quite a proud moment I suppose, for myself as a coach and a promotions officer. And that always stuck in the back of my head. I remember one time in particular where we had an underage fella in the UK, which is the first of its kind outside Ireland, and Éireog and Carlo came over and had a young lad of African descent, and it was just I suppose an image that always struck with me. So and when myself and Donald, I suppose, trashed it out and fleshed it out, it was just something that we were quite passionate about. We wanted to give the guys a voice, and we also wanted, I suppose, to bring people onto the screens of the Irish kind of sports screens, where there's kids all around Ireland playing now who can always identify with our great players, and we just wanted to, I suppose, bring people they can identify with to the screens in a real and human way, I suppose.
Well, you have done a great job on it. There's four stories that you're highlighting from all across the country and from all across the various different sports. Zak Moradi, Leitrim hurler, Thomas Davis hurling player and coach, winner of the Lowry Maher Cup at Croke Park. Probably not the kind of future in sport that you might have imagined when you came here at the age of 8 years old. Tell us a little bit about your own personal story of coming to Ireland and getting involved with Thomas Davis.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, obviously, but I never thought I'd be playing to this age. But since I picked up a hurl since I was 11, I've loved every bit of it. Obviously, hurling is a very difficult game to get used to. It's a very hard sport. There's a lot of skills in it. Gaelic is an easier game, sure, as they say. Gaelic is for awkward-looking man that can't play hurling. So I said I'll stick with the hurling. But I started playing hurling in primary school. So actually, one of the lads I'm on the team with, Clement Kniff, he was the club coach. He was working for at the time he was working for the Leitrim County Board, so he was coming around the schools as a club GPO. So I started off there, and then I ended up playing with him with Leitrim. So about 10 years later, which was brilliant. But and then obviously started off hurling Leitrim, and then I moved to Dublin when I was around 14, and I joined Thomas Davis because I went to school in Allbond Community School. So it was only 5 minutes down the road. And then I've been playing with Thomas Davis since 2004. So I've been playing probably since under 14 with them, and now I'm playing senior with them. We would have been junior hurling, intermediate for years. So luckily we broke through last year, so we played Senior A this year. So that was one of the biggest achievements for the club history, to play Senior A hurling.
And I know Thomas Davis has got a really strong reach into the community. Have you noticed over the years you've been involved that it has become a more diverse club? Because the area in Tala, it's got many different races, colours, and creeds that are playing into it. And yes, the GAA has sometimes struggled to actually reach out beyond. You mentioned the fact that hurling is a difficult game to pick up. Soccer is perhaps the more natural, easy to grasp idea for people that are coming to it, from different cultural backgrounds. But have you noticed that the GAA, and in particular the club, has been reaching out and bringing in a more diverse playing population?
Yeah, I have noticed now, like when I started playing, there wasn't actually that much foreign national playing. But in the last, I've noticed big difference because I'm coaching in Thomas Davis for the last 15 years, from the kindergarten the whole way up to under 16. And I've noticed massive differences. The team I coach under 14s, and we have 3 lads from, different backgrounds from Africa. There's 3 lads on that team. And then, but I've noticed when we're playing other clubs, they all have foreign nationals playing on the team as well. And obviously sometimes, because when I was playing, like anyone asked me, where are you from? I just said Ireland. I was always I didn't want to be telling people where I was from. I don't know, there was something like, I was afraid. I didn't want to be left out of, I didn't want to be saying I'm from Iraq or Iran. I just wanted to be the same as everybody else. But then, but you get a lot of that. So there is, the face of the GA is changing. Every year it's changing. As you see in club levels, especially in club levels all over Dublin, I noticed from under 14, under 12s, like you're going to see big differences in probably inter-county as well in the next couple of years. You're going to get a lot of second generation and fourth generation playing inter-county, and which is great for the GA, because if you look at it, we probably have 1 million foreign nationals living in this country. So, and obviously, if we can get a couple of 100,000 playing over the next couple of years, it'd be great. The more people playing GA, the better.
Well, you're right. The sport is richer as a result of that. Eavan, when you were exploring this and when you were pulling together the program, how much did you find? Like, what was the main area that had changed in your own perspective of seeing this, from having been, a player and involved in the sport all the way through? Because the stories that we'll hear on New Gaels they're drawn from Africa, from from the Kurdish population, from all over, and it really is a reflection of where Ireland is today. Did you find that the GAA has been on top of that and reaching out?
Yeah, I think so, Rob. I suppose, as Zak said, the kind of the face of the GAA is changing, because the face of Ireland and the culture and the communities are changing. I think certainly the GAA has embraced it. I think they probably have been pioneer. Not saying that other sports haven't, but certainly they've been very proactive. I think we got to know Zak actually through the community department and Colin Regan in Croke Park when we were doing our research on cast and who would be shortlisted to go and meet. So certainly what the GAA have been doing from a community point of view, from an inclusion point of view and diversity point of view, they certainly have engaged with all communities, I would say, and Zak probably knows it as well, because I think they know that there's people who are from different backgrounds who don't have the freckles and the red hair, who will take to the game, enjoy the game, and love the game as much as I suppose our 4 participants, which comes through in the documentary. But certainly, and you've covered a few times on different webinars and your own stuff, the GAA definitely have embraced it, and I would say have led the way on going out, being able to talk to different voices and welcome them into the GAA and Croke Park, which we've seen only in the last couple of weeks.
They are some of the biggest challenges that we face in sport, that level of inclusion and diversity, and reaching out to everybody. Zach, just to wrap up, like you come from a Kurdish background. You lived there until you were, I think it was 8 years old. Um, the pride that you would take in your own background, in your family, and the crossover into the Irish cultural piece as well. How easy is it for you to marry that? Because you're obviously proud of both the old and the new. I was at India against Ireland in the cricket a couple of years back. I was really struck by the Indian fans who were in the ground at Malahide, how they were able to belt out their own national anthem as well as the Irish national anthem, because they very much are of both cultures and both senses. Is that something that you're comfortable kind of bringing into the GAA environment and living with that sort of very rich dual background?
Yeah, it's, like when you look, there's Irish people all over the world, and they're always proud of being Irish. If you get probably hundreds of thousands, millions of Irish, even second generation in America, and they still celebrate Paddy's Day or whatever over Good Friday. There's all these things that celebrate, right? Same with, I'm a Kurd, and Kurdish people have been struggling the last 100 years. And obviously the countries we're surrounded by, they're trying to take, take our identity away, and we'd always make sure our identity lasts. Like, obviously, okay, I'll probably sound Irish or English, but, I'll still love me a few pints of Guinness and, playing hurling and football. All my friends are Irish. But when I'm at home, I'm Kurdish. I'll still eat Kurdish food at home. I'll speak, Kurdish to my mum and my brothers. We still celebrate Kurdish Nowruz, Eid Mubarak. It's, because I think it's always important to have your identity as well. It's, it's like in every country around the world, where you're Indian or Pakistanis or you're Irish, everyone always is proud where they come from. And I'm one of them as well. I'm always proud where I come from. And I have a Kurdish heart and Irish blood, so.
That's a great way of thinking about it. I'd love to hear you chatting away in Kurdish now with that great Dublin accent that you've nurtured.
You'll have to watch the full documentary.
Of all of the Leitrim fans, but they'll forgive you if you keep on scoring points like you did at Croke Park. The show goes out on Thursday night. It's on RTE Sport. There's a real warmth to it, and it's a really well put together program. Your story is central to it. Eavan, you've done a great job on putting it together. So it's on after the news on RTE television Thursday night. Well worth a watch. And thanks for this morning for joining us, to Eavan Mulligan and to Zak Moradi.